What's happening, cybersecurity warriors? Today I'm going to compare Identity Guard versus Complete ID, two identity theft protection services, and I'll go over how they stack up in terms of monitoring, how they compare in terms of threat resolution, and of course, how they compare in terms of cost. But before we dive into it, just to give you a quick answer, I'd say Identity Guard is an excellent fit if you're looking for a stripped down service that pretty much offers dark web monitoring and not much else at a very approachable price. If you do want more than that, I would recommend you actually check out Aura, which is now the parent company of Identity Guard. It looks very, very similar to Identity Guard, and it's a much more comprehensive package at a very approachable price, especially when you apply my discount to Aura, which brings the price down even further. I'll talk about that in a little bit. If you do want to get that discount, you can use my links in the description of this video to have that automatically applied. There is also one for Identity Guard in there, I believe. And if I have one for Complete ID, I'll put that in there as well. Complete ID is an excellent identity theft protection service, I would say, very thorough. They have a lot to offer. Quite happy with them. Although at the price that you're paying, I think Aura is a better deal. They have all that Complete ID offers and more at a better price, especially considering you have to be a Costco member to use Complete ID. So something to keep in mind. So to summarize, I'd say Identity Guard is excellent choice if you're looking for, super baseline, cheap, stripped down plan that monitors your personal information. And Complete ID is, an excellent choice, but I do think Aura is going to be a better choice. Let's dive into it. How do these companies stack up in terms of their monitoring? Well, let's take a look at the dashboards for each one. Basically, how they work is that you input your personal information, and these services will monitor the dark web for any occurrences of your personal information, and they will send you alerts if they do find it there. So it looks like Complete ID actually found some new alerts since I've last logged in, and it's a neighborhood watch alert. We'll get into that in just a bit, but basically this is what the dark web monitoring looks like for each of these companies. Here on Identity Guard, you can add your personal information, phone numbers, passport numbers, driver's license numbers, many things here you can see. Just scroll down, and here is the identity monitoring section with Complete ID. The biggest thing, these always kind of vary a little bit in what they offer for monitoring. The biggest thing to look out for is that a lot of these don't allow you to monitor a lot of email addresses, and Complete ID is indeed one of them. Unfortunately, I can only monitor 4 email addresses with Complete ID, and as you can see, I've reached the maximum, and that's it. Identity Guard does allow you to monitor 10, and I am monitoring 6, so I can't really monitor everything on Complete ID that I am monitoring with Identity Guard. Definitely worth pointing out, but something to keep in mind if you are signing up for any of these identity theft protection services. So what do these alerts themselves look like? Well, let's just take this one for example. Identity Guard found one of my passwords in a data breach here. So they found basically this was a MySpace breach. They found, my password had actually been leaked in association with my email address here. So they recommend I go ahead and change that. Let's see. A similar one from Complete ID is here. They found this way back in August of 2020, and it looks like in this case they found the actual password for my email address, and this is basically the report that they give you, tell you definitely update your email address and so on and so forth. So that's what the alert systems look like on both of these. In terms of how many instances of my information on the dark web they found, here you can see that Identity Guard found 18 in total, and here we have 10 alerts from Complete ID, and it looks like, is this another full 10? Yeah. So I have 20 alerts total from Complete ID, although some of these are not real dark web alerts. It looks like Complete ID found somewhere around 15 as opposed to Identity Guard's 18, so not so bad. It's possible that if I had all 6 of my email addresses monitored here, they would have found more, but definitely not as good as the monitoring that you're getting with Identity Guard. Identity Guard will also automatically submit opt-out requests from data brokers on your behalf, which is definitely nice. And they do continue doing this on an ongoing basis. I do get, email notifications from them. Hey, we just recently submitted an opt-out request with, 3 new data brokers. Not all the companies do that, so that is definitely a nice thing to have. Identity Guard will also monitor account records, so if they see any credit cards or utility accounts open in your name, you'll get an alert there. And they also monitor public records, so if anybody does something crazy like changing the name on your home title or using your identity during an arrest, you'll definitely get an alert from that, so you can resolve it as quickly as possible. So from a monitoring section with Identity Guard's baseline plan, that's more or less what you get. You do also get a password manager, which is nice, but there are definitely alternatives to that. It's not really sort of a strong buying point, I would say. To get access to everything else, that is, transaction monitoring, credit monitoring, antivirus, VPN, and family members, you do have to upgrade. And at that point, I think Aura is going to be a better deal. Beyond dark web monitoring, you do get 3 bureau credit monitoring with Complete ID, so you get credit scores and reports, which is definitely a nice thing to have. They do offer VPN, password manager, and they actually have a safe browser too, which is nice for sure. And you can monitor financial accounts with them. You can link credit and debit cards, bank accounts, and basically if any transactions are over a specified threshold, you can get notifications there. So you can go in and check out whether or not those charges on your bank account or credit card are fraudulent or legitimate. So that's nice to have and pretty standard amongst most identity theft protection services. You're just not getting that in the stripped down identity guard plan here. Complete ID does also allow you to lock your Experian credit file with just the click of a button, which is a nice thing to have for sure. Basically, instead of going over to the bureau and issuing a freeze, this makes it really quite easy to prevent unwanted inquiries into your credit file, which will indeed impact your credit. And one last thing worth mentioning for Complete ID is they do allow you to monitor your social media accounts. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. If they deem your sort of activity on those accounts to be risky, they'll let you know about that so that you can look into it. And I'm guessing that that's most useful for if somebody gets a hold of your account and starts using it for, malicious activity, anything like that. A lot of the identity theft protection services are starting to offer this now. I think it's also a nice thing to have. Definitely an advantage from Complete ID. So that's how these two companies compare when it comes to monitoring in a nutshell. In terms of threat resolution, both of these companies do offer $1 million in identity theft insurance. So if things go bad, they do have some financial protection there. And also very importantly, the customer support with both of these companies is really, really excellent in both cases. With the sort of the baseline plan with Identity Guard, you're not getting the full white glove resolution that you would get with, upgraded plans, and you definitely get with Aura. But whenever you call their support team, you are getting excellent service from agents who really understand the products, who really understand your needs as a customer, your concerns. And that's also the case with Complete ID. The support teams are really excellent from both of these companies. And they're there for you when things go bad. And that's really kind of an important facet of an identity theft protection service, because typically when you're calling support, maybe it's something small like a billing issue or something like that. But in a lot of cases, it's because, you lost your wallet or someone has gotten access to your bank accounts, and whatever the case may be, it's usually not a fun situation. So very important that the companies that you're working with really have your back and are really equipped to deal with your issues. And they are. So it's excellent there. And lastly, in terms of how these companies compare on price, again, I really recommend Identity Guard if you're just looking at their value plan. And that's a really approachable price at $750 per month. That's $750 per month billed annually, or $899 per month billed annually. Of course, if you want to get more features than sort of the stripped down baseline plan, the price goes up pretty quickly to $19.99 per month billed monthly, or $16.67 per month billed annually. At which point, I definitely would recommend checking out Aura as an alternative. And I'll get to their pricing in just a sec. But with Costco, what's really important to note about their pricing is that you do need to have a Costco membership in order to sign up for Complete ID. If you have just a regular membership, business or gold star, that's going to be $13.99 per month. And only if you have an executive membership will it be $8.99 per month. That's for their one adult plan. Of course, the prices go up if you start to add more people to the plan. So while Identity Guard is a good sort of budget value plan, Aura, in my opinion, is really the most comprehensive package, really the best pricing. You can see here, this is just their standard pricing. And if we compare the individual plans, it's $13.99 per month for Complete ID versus $15.99 per month when billed monthly for Aura. Of course, that's $12 per month when billed annually, which is a bit cheaper. And especially if you consider the fact that you have to get a Costco membership, which I believe is $60 at the very least to use Complete ID, Aura is the better choice. And this is, of course, before you apply my discounts. If you do apply my discounts, you can save up to 50% here, which becomes a really great deal on the family plan, under which you can protect 5 adults. So you can definitely cover your spouse and perhaps your parents and unlimited kids. Whereas the most protection you're going to get with Complete ID is 2 adults and up to 5 children. And what really becomes a difference in the family plan is that you're getting $1 million per adult with Aura's family plan for identity theft insurance, which is really great. Most of the other alternatives are capped at $1 million. So regardless of how many adults you have on the plan, if you do apply my discount, you can save up to 50%. And on the individual plan, it comes down to $9 per month billed annually, I believe, as of the time I'm filming, or $12 per month billed monthly when I'm filming. And if those prices change over time, my links in the description will always give you the best deal that I have access to. So make sure, whichever of the 3 that you choose here, to check out those links to see if I have any deals for you, knock the price down a bit. Hopefully that will help you. At any rate, if you want to learn more about Aura, you can check out my Aura review right here on this channel. I also have a comparison of Identity Guard versus Aura and Complete ID versus Aura if you want to learn sort of what the differences are between those two services. So that's all I have for today. And thanks for watching, and hope this helps you make the right choice.